Hi, everybody. Captain Lou here with another Extravagant Few Minutes live here on the Captain Lou Sports Network on YouTube. And, of course, on our Facebook page, which is the Captain Lou Extravaganza, and on X at The Real Captain Lou. I want to take a minute to thank everybody who is following us on the Captain Lou Extravaganza Facebook page. And those of you that have subscribed to our YouTube channel, which is the Captain Lou Sports Network, I invite you to do that. Follow both. You get all of our great programming. On our YouTube channel, you get it all archived as well. All of our Extravagant Few Minutes episodes, all of our extravaganzas with yours truly and my tag team partner, Mitch Bernstein. We're going to have another show live this coming Wednesday night at 7 o'clock Eastern time. Check our social media for our guests who are going to be on this Wednesday. And, of course, the ACHA Power Play, Season 10 going strong. The road to St. Louis 2026 is going on strong. The marathon part of the schedule is over now for the Christmas holiday, and then it's time for the sprint part coming up in January, because then it'll be 2 months until the road to St. Louis 2026 and the national championships in March. It's going to be a lot of fun following that. We're going to have a lot of guests, great guests lined up, but we've got a show tomorrow night, Tuesday, Season 10 of the ACHA Power Play. Hey, today's Extravagant Few Minutes, as all of our episodes on the network, are brought to you by the exclusive secondary market of the Captain Lou Sports Network, and that is SeatGeek. Use the promo code Captain Lou, and you'll get $20 off of your purchase. It's that simple. There's a game you want to go to this weekend. There's some college football playoff games this weekend, and I know there are seats available. Go to SeatGeek, and you'll get that great seat. And use the promo code Captain Lou. You'll get $20 off of your purchase. Regular season finale in Detroit this weekend against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Go to SeatGeek. Use the promo code Captain Lou, and you'll get $20 off of that purchase. It is that simple. All right. Speaking of the Lions made no adjustments in the second half yesterday against the Rams. They had the lead. They gave up that field goal right before the half. And then in the second half, they just went to sleep in the third quarter. And Matt Stafford and the Rams, Sean McVay, they made him pay. Los Angeles with the win, 41-34, but it was very frustrating to see that one quarter lapse, if you will. Detroit, no adjustments on the defensive side of the ball. In Los Angeles, they made all the adjustments, and that now leaves the Lions with zero room for error. They got to win out. It's the only way they're going to get in, and they're going to need some help. We talked about it. Matt Stafford, he beat him in the second half. He took over wide open. Even when he had a couple of fumbles, they sacked him on the first drive, gave up the field goal. But after that, it was all Los Angeles. Detroit had no answer in that third quarter, and they gave up the controversial touchdown. Yeah, it wasn't a touchdown, but still, you know what? They gave it up, and then when they got the ball back, 3 and out, and that was it. You could tell. It just took the wind out of Detroit's sails. And Stafford just carved them up in the second half. Now, the question that's begged to be asked, can the Lions win their last 3 games to start and then get help and sneak into the playoffs? If you look at the standings, the Packers lost in more ways than one, and the Bears won. So the Bears right now are 10-4, 2 games ahead of the Lions in the loss column. Detroit cannot afford to lose another game, plain and simple. If they do, forget about it. The Bears need to lose one of these next 2 before they play the Lions on the last weekend. At home against Green Bay this coming Saturday night, or at San Francisco. We know the teams are going to need those wins, so they're not going to be resting anybody. Those are going to be some monster games. But the Lions first have to win all 3. And I don't know if they could do that. Pittsburgh, they should be able to win in their home finale. Then Christmas night against Minnesota. Minnesota's got nothing to play for. So it could set up that all-important last game of the year against the Bears, win or go home. But the Bears still have to lose one. Or the Packers may have to tank it. I don't know if the Packers are going to tank it. The Packers are sitting pretty good right now at 9-4-1. But Detroit is going to need the Bears to lose one or the Packers to lose 2. And the Lions are going to have to win out. Lions get to 11-6. I got a pretty good feeling they'll get in. But if the Bears win out, obviously they're not going to do it. One of those wins for the Lions, obviously, would be against the Bears. So the Bears need to lose one of the next 2 if you're a Lions fan to sneak into the playoffs. But I think it's going to be a tall order for the Lions. Offensively, they looked okay yesterday. Defense, again, they kind of went to sleep. Couldn't get a whole lot of heat after that first drive in the third quarter on Matt Stafford. But again, Detroit is 0-6 playing against top 15 defenses this year. That's a stat that you got to keep in mind as well. So we'll see what happens. First off, Pittsburgh. Sunday afternoon, 4:25 in Detroit. They get one more visit from good old Aaron Rodgers as they take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Must win for the Lions, no doubt about it. No room for error. They got to start with that win against Pittsburgh and Aaron Rodgers. We talked about Green Bay and their loss yesterday against Denver. They lost in more ways than one. Now, we all know that I'm not a Packers fan. Anybody who knows me knows that. But in no way would I wish this on Micah Parsons or Christian Watson. It's just a devastating blow for the Packers on the defensive side of the ball. Obviously, he was the catalyst in that big trade this past August to get him from the Dallas Cowboys. He's out for the year with a blown out knee ACL. You hate to see that non-contact injury too. It's crazy. So the Packers, they've got the offense. Big blow to their defense. Losing Watson too is going to hurt. He could be back for the playoffs. But Green Bay, a big blow after that big loss yesterday against Denver. We'll see if they can rebound, but you hate to see it. The Packers still looking pretty good for a playoff spot, but you hate to see that when a player of the caliber of Micah Parsons goes out for the year or possibly longer into next year with that torn ACL. Just a tough break for the Packers. Hopefully he gets better soon and he can come back for Green Bay. Now, with that being said about the Bears, they're 10-4 right now in the NFC North. Is it time to take them for real now? Is it time to think, okay, they are legit? I know they really haven't beaten, they've only beaten one team really of playoff caliber, and that's the Philadelphia Eagles. We're going to find out these next 3 games that the Bears are legit. They've got the Packers at home Saturday night, standalone game, 8 o'clock in Chicago. Then they go to San Francisco against the 49ers. And then the end of the year, which could be for a playoff spot, who knows? And it could be a nationally televised flex game Sunday night, 8 o'clock. Why do I think it's going to be that way? Since they make it difficult for me as a Lion fan to watch. But are the Bears legit at 10-4? That's the question now you got to ask. They're winning the games they should. And that's the bottom line. I think it's time to start taking the Bears seriously. As much as I don't want to, I think they're legit. I don't know if they win out, they're in. There will be no doubt they'll be 13-4 and they'll win the division. So it's time to take them legit. Kansas City, wow. They're out. 10-year run is out, 9 whatever it is. First time in 10 years the Kansas City Chiefs are not going to the playoffs. Patrick Mahomes going for a second opinion today for surgery on his knee. He could be out into next year as well. Right now they're saying anywhere from 6 to 12 months. Another case, you may not like Mahomes. All he does is win. You know, he never gets in trouble. I know a lot of people, myself included, are suffering from Chiefs fatigue, but you can't wish this on anybody. Kansas City's had a hell of a run. The closest that we're ever going to come, I think, to a dynasty in the NFL in this generation is the Kansas City Chiefs. We hope that his injury isn't that serious, that being for Patrick Mahomes. But Kansas City's run is over. And now it's going to be somebody else in the AFC going to the Super Bowl. We'll find out. Is it going to be Buffalo? How about that win last night, yesterday against New England? Down 21-0, 24-7 at halftime. Stormed back 35-31. Another team that made the adjustments. That was Buffalo. They're still not in first place in the division, but they've solidified their playoff hopes now. They'll at least get the 5 seed in the playoffs, the top seed as far as the wild card goes. But they still have their sights on that division, and I think they can still win it because you ask yourself, is New England legit? I think they are. I think they're good. These are the teams like Denver with their big win over Green Bay. Is Denver? Now you got to start thinking Denver's legit. They're 12-2. So, yeah, I mean, they're going to win their division. They're going to be in the playoffs, all of that. Are they going to be the number 1 seed? Denver, you got Denver and New England. Question marks once they get into the postseason. We'll have to wait and see on that. But don't rule out the Buffalo Bills getting in and making a run to the Super Bowl. This could be their year. And finally, in the NFL, what about 44-year-old old man Phillip Rivers, almost willing the Colts to a win over Seattle? Seattle needed a last-second field goal to win that one yesterday in Seattle to go 11-3. 17-16, I think was the final score in that one. Yikes. Old man Rivers. Yeah, he almost willed them to victory, but Seattle now looking pretty good as they win that one 17-16. All right, before we go to break, let's go back and let's take a quick look at the NFL playoff picture. In the NFC or the AFC, Denver indeed has clinched a playoff spot. Right now, they're the number one seed. New England still with a game lead over the Buffalo Bills. Jacksonville leading the AFC South. Pittsburgh 7-6. They play tonight against the Miami Dolphins. Buffalo now is Baltimore. They're Miami Dolphin fans tonight to try to see if Pittsburgh can stumble and maybe they'll fall back into a first place tie. You've got the Chargers with the 5th seed, and you've got Buffalo with the 6th seed, and Houston right now with the last playoff spot. The Chargers have the tiebreak over Buffalo based on better win percentage in the conference. And in the NFC, you've got the Rams. They've clinched a spot. They're the number one seed with a game lead over Chicago. They are 11-3. They're tied with Seattle, but they've got the advantage based on head-to-head win percentage. Then you've got the Bears at number 2, leading the North. Philadelphia leading the East at 9-5. Tampa, they're 7-7. They win the tiebreak over Carolina based on best win percentage in common games. So it looks like Carolina is going to have to win out, or obviously they need Tampa Bay to stumble again. Carolina with New Orleans yesterday should have won that one. They blew that lead, so you can't really trust them. Seattle with the 5 seed. San Francisco with the 6 seed. Green Bay, a game and a half lead over Detroit. 9-4-1 as opposed to 8-6 for that last spot. Green Bay, obviously, if Detroit were to tie one of these games, would have the tie break based on sweeping the season series. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk college, football, and basketball and more. You're watching An Extravagant Few Minutes. It's right here on the Captain Lou Sports Network. Hi, everybody. Captain Lou here. Hey, is there a ball game you want to go to last minute? How about the Spartans at Spartan Stadium? Go to the Big House to watch the Wolverines. Is there an NFL game you want to go to? Lambeau Field, Ford Field, wherever, Baltimore. How about the Tigers for the pennant drive? Well, go to SeatGeek. Get those tickets there. Use the promo code Captain Lou right on the screen, and you'll get $20 off of your purchase. It's that simple. So go to the Spartan game. Go to the Big House. But use the promo code Captain Lou at SeatGeek, and you'll be all set. All right, welcome back, everybody, to An Extravagant Few Minutes here on the Captain Lou Sports Network. Here locally in the state of Michigan, our 2 top college basketball teams. Michigan survived a first half deficit and then poured it on in the second half to get over 100 points again, beating Maryland on the road 101-83. They're number 2 in the country in the latest AP poll. Arizona still number 1. Michigan State survived 20-some turnovers, I think it was. It was crazy, some amount, as they hung on to win on the road against Penn State. You know, the old adage, great teams win those games that maybe they shouldn't have, as they tried their best to give that one away against Penn State. But Michigan State, still with only 1 loss, ranked 9th in the country this week in the AP poll. They're going to play tomorrow night against Toledo. Michigan's off until Sunday when they take on LaSalle. So again, Michigan and Michigan State walking tall in the Big Ten and also in the country in men's basketball. Michigan ranked number 2 undefeated at 10-0. Arizona is ranked number 1. Duke is ranked number 3. All right, let's take a look at the Red Wings. The West Coast trip is over. 6 games, 12 possible points, and they got 9. After losing in the shootout to Columbus, they went out west, had a 3-game winning streak. They ended up then losing to Edmonton, but they bounced back to beat the Chicago Blackhawks this weekend in Chicago. So they got 9 points out of a possible 12 in that road trip. So they are tied for first right now in the Atlantic Division with Tampa Bay. They've got a game in hand on the Red Wings, as they've only played 32. The Red Wings have played 33. Both those teams are a point ahead of Boston and Montreal. So Detroit, a very successful road trip, getting 9 out of 12 points. Gibson really played strong towards the end of that road trip, especially against the Blackhawks. So looking good for Detroit. Next up for them, they're going to take on the Islanders. That's tomorrow night. And so they've got, I think, 3 games left before Christmas break. So we'll keep an eye on that, as the Red Wings looking very strong in the NHL. Pistons as well, looking very strong. Still the best in the Eastern Conference of the NBA, 20-5 right now. They've got a 2-game lead over the New York Knicks, who are at 18-7. Pistons put up 142 the other night against the Atlanta Hawks. Keeping it rolling are the Pistons as the top team in the NBA's Eastern Conference. As far as the top team overall, it is OKC. They finally lost the game to San Antonio. I think they're 26-2 now, or some ridiculous amount like that. So hats off to the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're actually 24-2. So yeah, the defending NBA champions looking very, very strong. College football. How about the opening round games this weekend in the college football playoff? This is what it's all about now. This is what everybody's playing for. And the best game of the weekend could potentially be Friday night, as Alabama, the 9 seed, is going to go up against Oklahoma, the 8 seed. That's on at 7:30, I believe, on Friday night. If we double check on that, 8 o'clock, I beg your pardon, that's Friday night at Oklahoma. And then a triple header on Saturday starts off with probably the best of the 3 games right out of the chute at 12 noon at Texas A&M at College Station, as number 7 A&M is going to take on Miami, a 7-10. And then at 3:30 is going to be Ole Miss, the 6th seed, taking on number 11 Tulane. And then the other group of 5 team, it's going to be James Madison going up to Corvallis to take on Oregon, 5-12. And I think if there's any upset potential, look for Miami to beat Texas A&M in this one. I think they're going to play with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, as a lot of people don't think they deserve to be in, so they might use that as motivation. They've been playing pretty good as of late. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll give you all of our predictions later on in the week here on an Extravagant Few Minutes, probably on Thursday, for these opening round games of the college football playoff. But hey, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be a fun watch this weekend. College and pro on Saturday. Boy, if you got nothing going on Saturday, get your pizza pies, your chicken wings, whatever. You've got 5 big games on Saturday, 1 on Friday night to whet your appetite for college football. All right, finally, here locally, again, the saga at Michigan still continues. The embarrassment that is Michigan football, and for that matter, the athletic department, maybe the front office department. Obviously, the basketball and hockey teams are doing really well. Number 2 basketball, hockey number 1 in the country. But the football program is an embarrassment. It still is. Now they're saying there's going to be an investigation into the athletic department, basically headed by Ward Manuel. We've said it last week. I had a lot of response on it when I said he should go. Definitely, Ward Manuel needs to be held accountable. Why he's still there, I still don't know, but the investigation does continue. And also, there's no new word on a head coach. I know Dillingham is from Arizona State, is the hot name right now. Kalen DeBoer vehemently denies that he's interested. We'll see what happens against Oklahoma this weekend. If he gets beat pretty soundly, maybe he changes his mind if Michigan throws the bank at him. Jed Fish from Washington, that's another name that's been bandied around. But who knows? Who would want to go there if Ward Manuel is still the AD? And with all this stuff swirling around with Michigan, what big name coach would really want to go there? Who knows what they're going to get slapped with? So that's the thing to keep in mind. But whoever they get, they're going to have to get him quick. And I just sure as hell hope it's not Biff. Biff is a nice guy. He's a fun story. But if they go with Biff Poggi, if he wins the game, he's Bobby Williams 2.0, and that's it. I'll swim the river on the Red Cedar and definitely become a Spartan fan. All right, that's going to do it, everybody, for another Extravagant Few Minutes live here on the Captain Lou Sports Network. I want to thank everybody for taking time out to be with us on the network. Thanks for welcoming us into your homes, on your computers, your laptops, iPhones, however you watched us here on the network. And again, subscribe to our YouTube channel for all of our great programming. And again, to subscribe to our Facebook page, which is the Captain Lou Extravaganza. Until next time, yours truly, Captain Lou, saying keep your heads up, keep your sticks down, keep your feet moving, and as always, keep your minds open. So long.